righty. Bet the Beach Live, main draw, day one from Itapema in Brazil. Challenge event, Beach Pro Tour. My name is Chris Turk, Bet the Beach Live. Thank you for hanging out for the second day in a row. We got some good games coming up here. I'm keeping an eye on Stadium Court here, Court 1 at the moment. We're in the third set, Brazil versus Spain, 14-11. It's actually match point here, Herrera and Gavira, who won the last challenge event in La Paz. Looking to finish off Brazil here on match point. And as soon as this game wraps up, we got warm-ups going, and then we have our game of the day. And it's going to be a good one. It's the reason why I wanted to kind of watch it along with you. So pull up your second screen, put me on one screen, put Stadium Court and the amazing commentary of my buddy. Don't really know Travis, but he does an awesome job for commentating for the FIVB Beach Pro Tour. It's, of course, the Sandcast podcast, and he's on the call here tonight for the last four matches of pool play here in Itapema. So Spain finishes off Brazil there, 15-12, third set. And we have a big match coming up here. Partain and Andy Benesh, the new American duo, turning a lot of heads. The youngsters, Partain, going out on the beach and going to make a run at Paris in 2024. They won their first match of the day versus Cuba in straight sets, 2-0, and they have a matchup coming up here in a few minutes against Brazil's number one team and our number one seed overall in this tournament from Brazil. We have them at 3-1 odds to win the whole thing. George Wanderley and Andre Stein, George and Andre of Brazil. Brazil's number one team, and should be a awesome measuring stick match here for Partain and Andy Benesh. On court number 2, right over here, we're going to be watching Tri and Chaim take on the Australian team, Chris McHugh and Paul Burnett. Tri and Chaim won their first match of the day earlier. They took on Austria's number 2 team, Ricora and Waller. They won that one 3 sets to 1. So they are in already, as are Partain and Benesh. Both of them should move on here to the round of 18, which starts here in a couple hours. So, we got a few minutes here before this match gets underway. Wanted to take a look back at the day for the American team specifically, and what you can expect here coming up as we head into the round of 18 here starting tonight. So let's take a look on the men's side first in Pool A. As I said, we got one more big game here between Brazil and Miles and Andy Benesh. We already know who's not breaking out of that pool, so that one is all but locked up. In Pool B, just wrapped up an hour ago on Stadium Court. Again, Travis Merwood with the call. Excellent call and an excellent match between Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander versus Sam Schachter and Dan Deering. This one went 3 sets. It was a very, very exciting match. If you have been watching the games or if you listened to me last night, the rain's certainly been a factor. Rain coming down hard in that one. And Travis actually had a pretty good article on Volleyball Mag last night that I was reading about the new look offense that Taylor and Taylor debuted in qualifiers yesterday in Itapema. Switching sides, Taylor Sander now playing left side, Taylor Crabb now playing right side. Apparently a choice made and influenced by their new interim and potentially long-term coach to really take advantage of Taylor Sanders' experience playing strong side on the indoor and allowing them to option a little more. And we've seen a little bit more change of pace coming from them. So very exciting to see them debut that new look offense. Now, let me go back to my standings here for a minute because you're going to say Taylor Crabb, Taylor Sander. Chris, you talk about them all the time. They're not in your top 10 here, top 10 odds to win. I'll say this. You're right. You're absolutely right. Taylor and Taylor are a team I think that are going to do a lot of damage here. They happen to be my personal favorite team of the men's. Just a big fan of what the Bug can do out there, and Sander has shown that he can be absolutely explosive, not only with his serves, but he's got a hammer for an arm, and they're just two of them just a blast to watch. And I do expect them to start cracking this top 10 in challenge events odds probably pretty soon, especially based on what I saw today, what we saw yesterday in the qualifiers from them. But as I sat there late last night and I had to decide who was going to take my 10th and final spot for my odds for to win the men's side here in Itapema, I had to choose, and I knew it was going to be an American team. Looking at the teams that I had the options to put, the other team that I was really kind of batting around was putting the Australia's second team here that Tri Chaim were about to play, McHugh and Burnett. They didn't make my top 10. Ultimately, I came down to Taylor Crabb, Taylor Sander, Miles Partain, Andy Benesh, and it was a coin flip. I'll say that. I probably would have had Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander in very similar 20 to 1 odds there. I do think that Miles and Andy have a slight better chance to surprise people, to do something people really aren't ready for, less tape on it, less conventional. But I'll say this, to dispute that, this new look offense that Taylor and Taylor have debuted here over the last 2 days would certainly fly in the face of that argument. But it'll be really fun to see what Andy Benesh and Miles Partain can do here against what is one of the best teams in the world, Brazil's best team, and the team that we have ranked number 1 overall, 3-1 odds here to win this tournament come Sunday afternoon. So that'll be a good one to watch. So flipping back to the standings here in that pool, Sam Schachter and Dan Deering played a couple of tough matches today, lost them both, so they will be I don't want to say going home because I'm sure they're staying in Brazil to move along to the next challenge event next weekend, also in Brazil. But they will not be moving tomorrow to play more volleyball. Pool C, we just watched the Spanish team win, so that's got to be updated there. Let's see if we can get you a refresh on that. Not yet. Let's stick with the Americans here for a minute. Let's look at Pool F here, because Pool F was pretty interesting. As we've said, Tri Chaim about to play here over on Court 2 against Australia's second team, McHugh and Burnett. Theo and Trevor Crabb. Theo Bruner, Trevor Crabb, an American men's team that's probably 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere in there right now for the American teams. Tough tournament. Lost in straight sets to Australia, the aforementioned McHugh and Burnett. And then just in the last hour and a half, same time that the Taylors were playing, Austria's second team, Ermacora and Waller, dropped that one in straight sets too. So Trevor and Theo, after playing very well in La Paz and very well in Tepic, dropped this one 0-2, and they will not be advancing. So Tri Chaim, Australia there, as well as the Austrian men's team all advancing out of Pool F. On the women's side, let's take a look at the women's side here. Pretty good day, I would say, for the women all in all. Savicimo and Tony Rodriguez splitting their 2 matchups against China, lost in straight sets in their first one, and won the second match against the other Chinese team, 2-1, 3 sets. Sarah Sponsel and Therese Cannon won both their matches today against 2 very, very good teams. The Klinger sisters from Austria, they won that 2-1. And then they swept an excellent Switzerland team, Bobner and Verge Dupree, who, if we flip over to my women's odds to win here, I had them as the second favorite women's team to come out of this one and win the challenge event in Itapema. So they drop in straight sets to Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponsel playing very good volleyball. I watched that second match, or a good chunk of it, on the second screen, and very impressed with what Sarah Sponsel and Therese Cannon have been able to do. So I might need to maybe revise my feelings about that team and start bumping them up a little bit on the U.S. depth chart. You see there 16-1 odds, the team of Julia Scholes and Betsy Flint. Betsy Flint, one of, if not the best defender in America. I guess Sarah Hughes would have something to say about that, as would Sarah Sponsel for that matter. That said, I am expecting to see really good things out of Scholes and Flint this year. They won both their matches today against Netherlands' 3rd team and Brazil's probably 4th team in Tayan and Victoria. That one was in 2 sets. The Netherlands win was in 3 sets, so they won both their matches of the day, and they will advance. And Kelly Klinsky and Haley Harward split their matches on the day. Netherlands' third team was a win. They dropped the second game to Brazil, Barbara and Carroll, who are my number one seed overall to come out of this one and win it at 3-1 odds. So they dropped that one, but took them 3 sets. So a good performance out of Kelly Klinsky and Haley Hartward. So with that all said, it is time to turn our attention to. Oh, they're still warming up over here. So we'll give them a few more minutes to get going over here as we wait for our match of the day here in Miles Partain and Andy Benesh, the U.S. men's youngsters taking on George and Andre. And introductions here, just about to get going. So that's where we stand. Let's flip it over to the scores here so you can kind of see where we are at the moment. Okay, so court 1 right there. That's the game we're about to watch. Court 2, as I said, Tri Chaim versus Australia. Everything else pretty much wrapped up. At the end of the pool play here, some courts go long, and the other courts finish a little bit earlier. So it looks like court 1 is going to have one more game left on it to wrap the day before we move to the round of 18 there at about 7:30 local time. So we're a couple hours away from the round of 18 starting on the women's side. We have 3 more men's matchups to go, and we'll be live watching along with you here as we watch Andy Benesh and Miles Partain take on Andre and George from Brazil. They just put the graphic up on the screen, and they did not show Andy Benesh and Miles Partain, so oops, a little mistake there. I want to remind you to make sure that you check out our socials. Bet the Beach Live, right here. Instagram, Twitter, our YouTube page if you're watching this right now, unless you're watching a clip that I do later. Bet the Beach, at Bet the Beach, right there at the bottom of your screen, right there. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and hopefully you can contribute on the chat. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you want me to talk about, what you want to see more of. I'd love to be able to take this screen right here and put it up on your screen right here. But I can't do that legally. Not allowed to do that. But I certainly can be a good second screen option for you as we watch along as the run to Paris here really gets going. This first of 3 matches, or 3 tournaments in a row in Brazil. We have another challenge event next weekend. Here, let me pull up exactly what the schedules are and what the weekends are, so I can give you the whole rundown here. Let's see here. All right, Saquarema. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Saquarema is next weekend. My birthday weekend, actually. Yep. Thank you for saying happy birthday. I appreciate that. So that's next weekend's another challenge event, and then followed by 2 weekends later, an Elite 16 in Uberlândia, Brazil. So Brazil, the heart of beach volleyball here over the course of the month of April. So one thing I talked about last night, or I mentioned in one of my Instagram posts, was what an opportunity this is right now for U.S. and for Brazil. A lot of the European teams opt to not make the trip to Brazil. Long flight, a couple of challenge events, maybe the points aren't worth it for them. So what you do see is you see a lot of U.S. teams in the fold here, and you see a lot of Brazilian teams in the fold. And it's a real opportunity for Brazil and U.S. to get some points, to get some good results here without the tip top of the tip top of competition in beach volleyball, which has become really European over the course of the last couple of years. Just getting underway here on Stadium Court. Brazil gonna have the first serve here, and we'll see what we can do. Option right away, And they serve Miles Partain. He drops a beautiful pass there to Andy Benesh, who goes right line, and Miles Partain's going to come back to serve, and USA gets the first point. So really looking forward to seeing what Miles Partain can do here on the tour. Young guy, has already had some good success on the AVP tour, winning his first last year with his partner Paul Lotman. And Andy Benesh has been really the next up-and-coming big on the American side. Also in that conversation, probably Logan Webber. But Andy Benesh playing last year, started the season with, Nick Lucena. Nick Lucena, played a few matches with Nick Lucena. I got confused there because he actually won his first with Phil Dahlhauser because Nick had an obligation. So he played some matches with Phil Dahlhauser, played with Nick Lucena. I believe he played with Casey Patterson in the AVP finals in Phoenix there. So Andy Benesh having a very good season last year. Really his first real breakout season as a big on the American side. So still waiting for Tri Chaim to get underway in Court 2. Let me see if I can refresh that and get you an update on when that's expected to get started. Court 2, day 2. And if you want your Masters update, the last time I checked, they were still in a rain delay. Well, they actually had a couple of trees come over. Oh, we got a jump set from Andy Benesh. Woo-hoo! You got to love that. You got to love the fast stuff, man. You got to love the fast stuff. I know there's been a lot of debate on the tour about Sweden, the men's Sweden team, Aman and Helvig, and if that style of play is sustainable. And I think the conversation is a little confused, I would say. Can just anybody do that? No, of course not. Does it make sense to do it if it's not your specialty? No. Does it mean that they are going to take over and that style of play is just going to, become the new normal for beach volleyball? I don't necessarily think it will. However, the speed at which they play, I think, is the point that is lost here. And the change of pace and the ability to neutralize a big blocker that was really, the big blocker was everything in beach volleyball over the course of the last 10, 15 years. And if you can neutralize that big blocker and you can, force that big blocker to be less effective, make him ineffective, well, it's an advantage. So watching Miles Partain and Andy Benesh already here with 2 or 3 options by my count, following in the footsteps of the success of Kelly Clays and Sarah Sponsel, Kelly Cheng and Sarah Sponsel last year, really relying heavily on that option. And now you see that Miles Partain and Andy Benesh effectively using that. And over here on Court 2 now, we do have Tri Chaim underway. They are down 4-6 to the Australian team, McHugh and Burnett. And you're going to see similar stuff out of them too. I know Tri Bourne wants to do it. I know Tri Bourne likes to do it. I don't know if you're going to see it stable, a dominant part of their game as much as you will see with Miles and with Andy. But I think Tri is definitely somebody that is interested in employing that and using it when it makes sense. And we've seen a little bit of that now. And I think him and Kim Schock are a great pairing to be able to make that effective, make that a big part of their game. So Court 1 right here, USA Brazil, Miles and Andy down 4-5 at the moment. And Court 2, let me get the scores up for you so you can follow along here. It's not nice of me to not have that. There you go. So now get your scores on the left side. I got to learn how to do that right there. Miles and Andy, Court 2, McHugh, Burnett versus Kim Schock. And Tri Bourne. So, yeah, that's what it is. I hope you enjoyed my live stream yesterday. I did have some critical words for the AVP. I'm going to maybe clip some of that and get it up on Instagram so I can get some more views. But we're in the middle of the Beach Pro Tour world right now, and I think actually next weekend is AVP New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's one of the conflicts. Actually, I got that on my Instagram. Let's see if we can find that. Did I post it on Instagram? I'm not sure. Let me find that out for you. I think next week is one of the conflicts. AVP New Orleans. I got like 10 computers here, and I'm using my phone. Sign of the times, huh? I'm pretty sure it was next weekend, yeah. So next weekend we have a conflict between AVP's New Orleans and the challenge event in Saquarema. I know I had heard Tri Bourne say that him and Cam are going to make New Orleans this year. He hasn't made it. He didn't make it last year. I know he wanted to make it. And yep, there. Cam and Tri are at the top of the list for AVP New Orleans next week. Oh, interesting. Looks like a lot of the guys are going to go to Brazil. Taylor and Taylor not on this list. Miles and Andy not on this list. Theo and Trevor not on this list. Everybody trying to get those Paris points. And, yep. How about on the women's side? Sarah Hughes and Kelly Chang makes sense. Doesn't make sense for them to be playing in challenge level events right now with their entry points. Brandy and Melissa, probably the same story for them. Taryn Close and Kristen Nuss. All right, so the women's side is going to be much stronger than the men's side. Interesting. Sarah Paven and Emily Stockman playing together in AVP, at least on the sign-up list right now. Betsy Flint, Julia Scholes, Sponsel and Cannon. Carly Kahn and Zana Muno. Interesting. I know Zana was planning on playing a few of these with the legend, the greatest of all time, Kerry Walsh Jennings, but apparently some sort of injury for Kerry, and so Zana had to pull in Allie Wheeler, I think, for the qualifiers here in Itapema. They did not break yesterday, so disappointing result for Zana there. So really kind of interesting to see her playing with Carly Kahn here in New Orleans. But I think the women's side most certainly a lot stronger than the men's side. Savvy and Tony on this list, too. Larissa and Lily, of course. Jeannie Rango, Carly Scote. Yeah, so you got some good teams on the women's side. I think the men's side wide open for Cam and Tri to dominate, I would say. But should be a good one. So next weekend, I'll probably have a couple of live streams, kind of following AVP and FIVB Beach Pro Tour at the same time if I can. Try to get you kind of wraparound coverage of both of those things happening at once if I can get a good opportunity to get some American teams playing internationally and then some good American matchups on the AVP Tour. So hopefully I'll get that for you next week. All right, back to the scores here. Andre and George extending their lead over Miles Partain and Andy Benesh now 10-5, as you can see right up here. And Cam Schalk and Tri Bourne over Australia 11-10 on the technical timeout. Ooh, Miles Partain going line. Very nice. Let's take a look at our odds to win here. Women's odds to win. I got two American teams in this, Savvy and Tony, at 8-1 odds. I probably needed to have one more Americans team in this top 10 now that I look at it, but a good list there. I'm very high on the Klinger sisters from Austria. I got, as I said yesterday, I got to see them up close and personal at the Queen of the Court in Miami and was very impressed with that young team, as Miles Partain just outside on an error, and Brazil goes up 12-6. I got a couple Brazilian teams in there, 3 Brazilian teams actually, lots of Brazilian teams in this tournament, as you would expect. I am high on that Switzerland team of Bobner, Verge Dupree, and the 2 German teams both can win a tournament at any time. On the men's side, as I said, George and Andre, the team that Miles and Andy are playing right now on the court, 3-1 odds. I do like the 2 Austrian teams, Seidel and Pristaz and Makara Waller. I think there's not a lot of difference between those 2 teams at the moment, 3-1 and 5-1. So that's where I'm expecting to see your medals, somewhere in the top half of that list. But I do have Tri and Cam just outside of that. And I'll say this, I've had them ranked higher than I think most would so far this season in every tournament they've played. And in every tournament, I think they've probably performed under their expectations for themselves. And I talked about how they're a new partnership and those things take time to develop. But I do expect them to put it together. I do think that in breaking up the two pairings that we had of Tri Bourne and Trevor Crabb and Theo Brunner and Cam Schock, and pairing Tri with Cam, I really do think we took two of our best three players in the U.S. at the moment, and we put them together rather than having them separate. So I do think that's going to benefit the USA greatly in the long term. I think in the short term, you're going to see some kinks that need to be worked out. You're going to see some problem spots that need to be worked through. And you're going to see some, just developing as a team and learning how to play with a new partner. That's natural, but I do think that Cam and Tri are going to, I don't want to say quickly, but I would say by the time we get to World Champs in October, I think you're going to be talking about Tri and Cam as a regular in the Elite Six teams and probably not playing in as many of these challenge events. That'd just be a prediction that I have. In that match right now, we have USA taking the lead 15-13. Let's go back to the scores. And that has yet to be updated there. It's now 15-13. Tri and Cam. And again, if you have any questions, comments, want to reach out, please make sure you like and subscribe, but use that chat. I got the chat up here on the screen, and I can respond to any questions you might have. I've talked about what my goals are here with Bet the Beach. It's to, be able to do some broadcasting, which is a hobby of mine, be able to enjoy beach volleyball, which is a hobby of mine, and really provide a new vehicle for people to, have the sport be accessible, have the sport be fun, add a little bit of unofficial, I guess is the best way to describe it, unofficial gambling odds as I put them up here. I will probably tomorrow, probably round of 12, start putting some picks and spreads on the matches. Probably wake up tomorrow morning and do that before the games get going, or late tonight, we'll see. But I'll get you some spreads and picks for the remainder of the matches Saturday and Sunday here from Itapema. We got a great rally going on here now between Cam and Tri puts it away cross court with the hammer. And excellent matchup over here on court 2. USA now taking the lead 16-15. Miles and Andy struggling here a little bit. 16-9 at the moment. Miles Partain back to serve. This is a young team right here, so there are going to be some growing pains for sure. Miles Partain is just so good. So darn good. Don't forget, at Bet the Beach on Twitter, at Bet the Beach on Instagram. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow. Ooh, Andy Benesh. Andy Benesh is looking bouncy. Ooh, Tri. Tri's not happy with himself after that. Tri just put one in the net. I think I said this. I forget what tournament it was. I don't know if it was La Paz or Tepic. It was probably Tepic. But you watch, I guess it was definitely Tepic. No, I'm not sure. It's funny when you watch a new team like this, everything looks a little, weird. And, got a jump set from Andy Benesh and a touch and the point. That's the second jump set I've seen from Andy Benesh. Love to see it. Just love to see it. And we got a 17-11 side switch now. USA with the serve. I forget what I was saying. I apologize. I got sidetracked by the good volleyball. One thing I should say is these scores that you see on your right side, they are courtesy of volleyballworld.com. Volleyballworld.com is where I got the scores, where I get the standings. So please make sure that if you need the scores and standings and I'm not going live, that's where you go. And the games that I'm watching right now are live on vbtv.com. It is a paid subscription, but it is not an expensive subscription. They do an excellent job with the presentation. You can watch any one of the four courts right from the same app. You can multi-view and get 2 games, 3 games, 4 games if 4 games are going on. And really the commentary is what sets it apart from everything else. Travis Merwitter on the call here from Brazil and USA. Right there. I can't give you too much of it, but Travis doing an awesome job on the call. Give him a follow to at TravMew on Twitter and Instagram, and follow his stuff on the Sandcast podcast. Big listener right here. So, Tri came 18-18. Tri-born back to serve. Meanwhile, in court 1, 18-12, Miles and Partain, Miles and Andy, Miles back to serve. So we got Tri serving on one court, Miles serving on the next court. And a side out from Australia on court 2. Option for Brazil, and a side out for Brazil in stadium court. So, not going well for Miles and Andy at the moment. Meanwhile, we are approaching set point on court 2 for Cam and Tri. Oh, Australia's playing well. 2018, back right corner. Awesome jumbo drop shot for Australia. Forcing Tri and Cam to take their timeout, down 18-20 now in the first set. And that one kind of started to slide pretty quickly. Hey, we got somebody in the comments. I like that. Getting involved in the chat. I appreciate you. No, I've got Marty Love here in the comments. Hey, Marty, how we doing? It's my buddy Tino. Tino, thanks for the watch, my man. I appreciate you. I got to keep a better eye on that chat. I didn't see it until you screenshotted and texted it to me. Tino, what's good, bud? Anyways, let's see. We still got 18-20 over on court 2. Tino came with me to King and Queen of the Court in Miami. We were on a Miami Beach vacation. Nobody loves Miami better than my buddy Tino over here, and we've gone down there twice with him now. And just so happens this time we're there at the same time as King and Queen of the Court, which was an awesome event to watch. I was really happy to get to show some of my friends what professional beach volleyball can look like at a different style, different pace, and they do an awesome job with that tournament. It was a lot of fun to watch. So. Yeah, it was good. Partain and Benesh did drop that first set. Yep. They dropped the first set to George and Andre. Now again, let's remember what we're talking about here. George and Andre, at 3-1 odds, I have as the best team in this tournament. Highest odds to win, right up there with Austria. Miles Partain and Andy Benesh, it's probably their 5th or 6th tournament together as partners. It's Miles Partain first real foray out into beach volleyball. Was an indoor, played setter for UCLA, I believe. Left the team to try to make a run at Paris in 2024. Picked up Andy Benesh, young team, young American team. So if you had to rank the men's teams right now, Tri and Came for sure, I would say, is the standalone number 1. Theo and Trevor would probably make an argument for number 2. At the moment, I'd probably put Taylor and Taylor ahead of them. And then where are Miles and Andy? Well, according to this list right here, I had them as the second best American team. I don't know if I feel that, but I feel like they had the better odds of the other two to win this tournament, better than Taylor and Taylor. So, they're a young team. They're on the come up, and they're playing. They just happen to be playing in pool play here. The best Brazilian team in the tournament, and so this is a team that Brazil should win. This is a team that Brazil expects to win, I think. But it's like a measuring tape game. Miles and Andy already know they're advancing to the round of 18, so it's not like a lose and you're out here in pool play, which is a good place to be. So it's a good place to really measure yourself against some of the best competition, definitely the best competition in this tournament. So that's what this game is right now, and we'll see what Miles and Andy can do here in the second set. 2-1 right now. Miles and Andy down to George and Andre of Brazil. Over on court 2, Australia did take the first set against Tri Chaim, and same story in this matchup. We'll look back at this. Ooh, that's a terrible set there by Australia and gets called for a double, and USA is going to take that point. Again, I should mention that too. The conditions out here in Itapema, Brazil are pretty challenging to play beach volleyball. It has been pouring rain since we started watching yesterday. And trying to hand set in that kind of weather is not the easiest thing in the world to do. I've seen a lot of bump sets that you typically see as hand sets. You'd see some hand sets going through people's hands. That was the cause of that last point given up by Australia. And Tri Chaim take advantage, although Australia does side out right after. So right now, for the Americans, both matches, Stadium Court and Court 2, were down 1-0. Tri Chaim, this is a match that Tri Chaim want to win. This is probably a match that Tri Chaim expect to win. If they are the team that I think I just said they are, which is the best team in America, a team that we're really hoping can compete in Paris in 2024, come 14 months from now. They're going to need to beat teams like this Australian team, which is a good, top 12, top 14 team in the world right now. Maybe not even, maybe top 16, top 18. So this is a team that Tri Chaim are going to need to expect to beat and need to want to beat. And right now they're not doing it. So head over to my Instagram here for a minute. Get you some of my clips from the last match. Let's see here. Got a couple clips from Miami Beach. King and Queen of the Court, sitting there with my buddy Tino. Shout out Martin. And that was a good one. Kamer just giving it to the referee in that one. And then, of course, one of my favorite matches of the year so far, the finals at Itapema, Sweden taking the win here over Anders Mol and Christian Sarum. And just it's been a spectacular couple weeks already, and I'm really looking forward to keeping going with you guys and continuing to watch volleyball and continuing to enjoy volleyball along with you guys. So let's look back to the games here. We'll probably call this quits here in a minute, but what happened here? Marty, you got a beer? My boy Tino in the comments. He better be drinking a beer with me, man. I lost my stream here for a minute. Just pulling it back up. Ooh, Australia not happy with that call. Boy, it is so hard to play volleyball in pouring rain like this. That is something. All right, what else have we got going on currently? We are waiting on... All right, round of 18 has started, too, on the women's side. Oh, we got a good matchup for Savicimo and Antonio Rodriguez coming up here in a couple, 7:20 Eastern time, 8:20 in Itapema. So, we got Taylor and Taylor playing another match here tonight against Cuba. That's a Cuban team that Miles and Andy already beat. That's a fun Brazilian matchup there over in Court 3 between Toledo and Tamela. I think they're probably the third Brazilian women's team. And again, the Klinger sisters from Austria, they were at, as I said, the Queen of the Court in Miami, so we got to see them up close and personal. And I think maybe I'm a little higher on them than I should be, just because I got to see them in person, see what they were able to do. But I think that's a young team that's going to surprise people this year. So I had them as my, let's see, third best odds to win, 5-1, for the Klinger sisters of Austria, and they're playing right now. They're the first match of the round of 18, and it is coming down. It is pouring right now in Itapema. Beach volleyball is a sport that is almost. No, I wouldn't say almost. A sport that is enhanced by its surroundings, by the environment in which it is played in. And, all sports suck to play in the rain. I would say beach volleyball is one of the hardest sports to play in the rain. The ball gets heavy. The ball gets slippery. You're trying to hand set. You can't do any of that. So it's a very hard sport to play in the rain. So credit to these guys for being able to play at a high percentage of what the quality of the game would look like if it wasn't pouring rain. So, bye, Tino. Thanks for coming out, bud. So Marty in the comments there. Yep. If you want to join us in the comments, please do. Like and subscribe. Marty, don't forget to like and subscribe, my man. We appreciate you. All right, what do we got here? Let's go back to the scores. Andre and George up over Miles and Andy. Ooh, a great rally here between USA and Brazil, and a jumping set from Miles to Andy Benesh. And there's a fun team to watch. This is a fun team. I'm going to clip that for later. I'm absolutely going to clip that one for later, so you guys can see it on the Instagram if you weren't able to catch that one. So let me pull that up right now so I got it. I'll put it on Instagram here in a few minutes. It was like a broken play, and he thought that Miles was going up for the option, and it ended up being a kind of like a slide jump set. It was pretty. See what I'm doing for you guys? Not only am I giving you, odds, not only am I giving you scores there, you probably want to see the scores of the games that we're watching. How about that? That work for you? But I'm also clipping the stuff for you. There it is, right there. Ooh, 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 ooh. And he had the left elbow just going up to hit it, did Miles Partain, and just a slide jump set to Andy, who puts it away down the line. That was nice. That just got clipped. You see that on Instagram later. Anyways, where are we here? Let's get the Tri game back up. Back up here, court 2. All right. Partain and Benesh down 10-9 to Brazil. And coincidentally, same score for Tri Chaim. Cameron puts it away to make it 10-10. We got Triborn with the block there, and they're calling the touch on Australia after the Triborn block, leading into the technical timeout. Australia is not happy with the call, or are they? What was the final call there? Okay, Australia did get the point. All right, so they did get the challenge. Okay. All right, so we got the technical timeout on both screens right now. Both teams, both U.S. men's teams, down a set. And let's take a look at what's going on over on court 3. Court 3, Brazil, Toledo and Tamela took the first set 21-16. Second set, the Austrians, the Klinger sisters, up 4-3 in set number 3. All right, coming up later tonight, let's give you a little bit of preview. the rest of the games. We have Savvy and Tony, the Americans, coming off a silver medal in La Paz, an excellent performance for them. They are playing Netherlands at 7:20 Eastern Time, 8:20 local time. Taylor Sander and Taylor Crabb playing 15 minutes later against Cuba. Argentina playing Switzerland on the men's side on court 1. And that will do it for the round of 18, it looks like. Yeah, I think that needs a little bit updated. I don't think the quarterfinals would come after 2 matches in the round of 18. Could be wrong, but I'm guessing that's probably not the case. Let's go back to the scores here. All right, back to live action. Both games just coming out of the technical timeout. And Miles Partain goes up in a big block from Brazil. And USA takes the timeout. So we went from 11 to 10 to 14 to 10 very quick out of the tech. And USA takes their timeout now down 14 to 10 and also down 1 set to nil for Miles Partain and Andy Benesh. Over on the other court, Australia is up 13-12 over Tri and Came Shock. Australia serving. They're serving at Came, looks like at the moment. Beautiful set there by Tri. He's got just amazing buttery hands. Buttery biscuits. And we got the touch, and USA gets the point. So they keep showing the shots of the rain and the crowd there in Itapema, and it just, every time you see the rain, it's coming down more and more. It is coming down more and more. Tri back to serve. Australia sides out. Going cross. Miles Partain sides out. Gets it back for USA, 11-14 for Partain and Benesh. Over on Stadium Court. As I said, later on tonight, early tomorrow morning, I'll get you some picks and spreads for the games tomorrow here in Itapema. I was going to get you a Masters update. That's what I wanted to do. Ooh. Jumbo pokey by Miles Partain. 2 points in a row for USA, and they're right back in at 12-14. Came Shock with a grade up. Tried Born with a nice rescue set. Puts it right at the net, and Gamer gets blocked. Ouch. All right, let's see what's going on in Augusta for all you gamble-holics out there. We got an update. Augusta National Golf Club confirmed that no injuries reported from the 3 trees that were blown over to the left of number 17, tee due to wind. The second round has officially been suspended for the rest of the day. Play will resume Saturday morning at 8 a.m. So we are paused in the middle of the second round at the moment. Down at Augusta. Came Shock is not happy. What just happened there? I might need to rewind that, guys. I just missed something there. All right, let's see this last play here. 15-14, USA's up. 16-14 USA's up. Yeah, I guess nothing happened. It's called a timeout. My apologies. 17-14. Came Shock and Tri Born going on a little run here. Coming out of the timeout by Australia. Oh, that one's out. 18-14. All right. Looks like Tri and Kim might get this into a third set, which they will be very happy about. Over on Stadium Court, Miles and Andy fighting valiantly. And option ball, Andy Benesh puts it cross court. And I tell you, that that jump set that we've seen at Andy Benesh now 2 or 3 times in this match, that's going to get people thinking a little bit. I wasn't expecting him to have that in his arsenal this early. But if he can do that effectively, that's a game changer, because you got to respect that option ball for Andy Benesh with his size and speed. And we got a touch off the block by Andy Benesh. Brazil extends the lead to 17-14. 18-14 now. Meanwhile, over on court 2, USA's lead is now 19-15. Cameron with a beautiful little drop shot cross court to make it set point for the Americans. And another jump setty by Andy Benesh. And Miles Partain puts it away off the touch on the block. And this is something. You guys are going to enjoy watching this team. We are going to absolutely enjoy watching this team. We knew Miles Partain had the skills to play that faster pace, that the jump sets, the option balls. I wasn't personally certain that Andy Benesh was going to be able to manipulate his style of play to match that. And at least from what I've seen in one game here, he certainly has been able to do that. So it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer if they're able to do that. Looks like we got a timeout here. 18-16 Brazil over Miles and Andy Benesh. And over on court 2, Tri and Kim take it to a third set. They win the second set 21-15 after dropping the first set 21-19, and they're got 15 points here to take the game over the Australians and head into the round of 18 and the next phase of this play here on a good note against a good Australian team. All right, that'll do it for me. I think I'm going to wrap up here. Make sure that you like, subscribe, leave your comments. Go head over to my Instagram page. We are, let's see here, at Bet the Beach on Twitter, at Bet the Beach on Instagram. I'll get you a super cut of some of the highlights from today later on today. We'll get you the picks and the spreads for the games tomorrow. I do not think I'll be going live again the rest of this weekend, but you never know. So stay tuned, subscribe. If I do go live, you'll get a notification. Give me your comments, send me your messages. Let me know what you want to see, what you don't want to see. And we will talk to you again soon. Thanks for joining.